that nigga somewhere for the weekend so I can have some
That's where it comes in, like
space.
how you looking at yourself. Because if you've had a past of somebody cheating on you,
Mm,
then or even that person cheating on you before, then at that point you have to look at yourself and be like,
right.
do you want to deal with this? Because you can't control that person. You don't really necessarily have a right to be like, you can't talk to this person no more.
Right.
Either you can be there and deal with it, or you can
Or
go.
be
Like that's it. You can't
Right.
control who somebody does and doesn't talk to. It doesn't work that way because you don't know.
What
That goes back to one of the episodes we had when we was like, putting all the responsibility on one person to be your everything
it's
is
a
a
lot.
lot.
It's
It's
a
and
lot.
damn
I
near
and
impossible.
I ain't want that responsibility, so please have some friends. I don't want that.
Exactly.
Right. When I was younger, I got you. I used to feel like women couldn't have friends that I dated. But that was the
Mm,
immaturity in me because I had to realize why do I feel this way. And so once I start questioning Right. myself, and then I start establishing certain or didn't make sense either. Like, well, after midnight, why is he calling you? Not realizing that most times when somebody having a breakdown, it don't happen between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m.
right.
Somebody
Yeah.
having a Right. breakdown, it's three in the morning. And if you a
Right.
real friend, it's fucked up of me to say, what you doing on the phone with
You can't be there for
while your
them.
friend having a,
Yeah.
a a full full breakdown. Like you, yes, it's wrong. It's really wrong. Right. If you have clear boundaries established with your friend, as long as it's not negatively impactful, then it shouldn't be an issue. And then before too, I would get angry at the friend. You should be angry at your person if they cross that boundary. Because if the friend decides to cross that boundary, it's up to your partner to say, nope, we can't be friends anymore. They should come to you at that point. Damn, I just
And
lost right.
Right.
a friend today. They crossed the
and
boundary,
now
but I,
your
I nipped it in the bud.
and now you be having some partners who friends will cross the boundary and they won't say nothing. They'll keep being friends with them. And I'm looking at you like, okay, she did that. Why you still friends with her?
Exactly.
Why you
Right.
still talking to them? They
Yep.
crossed the boundary.
And
You already know how they feel about you. What are you doing?
and that to
Right.
me is where it comes to looking back at yourself. It's like, okay, do you want to deal with that or not? Because
Right.
obviously the person you with don't care.
They
So
don't
you
care.
can't make them care.
Nope.
And you can't tell them, you can't talk to them no more to show me that you care for me. Because obviously you already shown you don't care for me because you let your friend, not mine, cross that boundary. And
It,
like I had a friend who would stop talking to me every time he got a girlfriend. I had absolutely no problem with it because if that's what she want, if that's what's gonna make you happy, okay, cool. Like I don't care because if my partner felt some type of way and you're okay with it, that's fine. If you have that type of relationship, but to be like, you just can't have, especially going into a relationship, and this person has been this person's friend way before you even knew they existed. You can't just come into their shit and be like, I don't want you talking to them no more because they make me feel uncomfortable.
yeah.
Right.
Ma'am, sir, that's a you problem. I'm sorry.
Right.
Right.
I,
It
I,
I
I
is.
wish.
had that happen to me. I have a friend, and we've been friends for like 10, 11 years, and he ended up getting with a lady, and like we was all friends. The lady has actually come on to me inappropriately. His wife is
Mm.
bisexual. She's actually come on to me inappropriately and got turned down. But then a little while after that, it seemed like it was no issue. It could have stemmed from that, but it seemed like that was no issue. Then all of a sudden, she had an issue with us being friends. She did not like it. Like my friend, this person that we talked openly through his last relationship, like we kicked it, all of that stuff. We both smoked together, all of that different stuff, no issues. And now I have this friend that he literally has to call me from a different phone that I'm finding out that he has to call most of his friends, and some of them are male because she don't want him talking to them.
Right.
Wow. That's crazy.
I was that
That's
friend
control.
before where I used to like cut my friends off. A person would ask me to, but I would never do that again. It was like I feel like they should have stopped being friends with me because of that. Because I thought I was doing what was
I'm
best for
definitely
the.
about to do that. You cut
I
me
thought
off,
I,
you cut
I thought, I
forever.
thought that, I thought I should have doing what was best for the relationship, but I have to realize that I have to establish my boundaries too, and be like, look, they're gonna be here while you here, and they're gonna be here if you leave. Like, I'm not, because if something happened between me
No,
and
I
you,
have had it
my
with
heart.
certain conversations like that.
Yeah, that happened to me before with one of my friends. He got into this was a relationship with a girl he just met. Like, bro, you don't even know this girl. You just met her. You don't even y'all ain't even in a serious relationship. And he like, I gotta stop being friends with you. And I'm like, I hope you know. This permanent. Ain't no coming back. Cause I don't want you. Cause to me, like how Van said, being with a person who don't look good and they cheat on you, to me, when you come at me with I gotta stop being friends with you because my partner feels some type of way, you playing, I feel like you played in my face because you know I don't want you. What you trying to say? She think I want you?
Some of those women do be thinking that though. That's the crazy part about it. Some of those women actually be having the audacity to think that something that
Like, don't nobody want this nigga.
you want that.
I had one just like that. She was like, trying to pretend to Boonie. No, she was pretending to be my friend. Like me, because I'm not gonna ask nobody to be my friend. But if you ask me, can we be friends? Sure. Like, let's get to know each other. You just gonna have to accept me as I am, you know. But she was like really, and she was dating him, so that was even, better because like, all right, all of us can be cool, awesome, great. Just to find out she actually was trying to see like what was going on between me and him. Thing was, I have not seen this nigga in like, I think it was at that time, it had been like 4 years. I hadn't talked to him in 3. Not no text messages, no phone calls, no emails, absolutely no contact with this dude. I didn't even have his phone number in 3 whole years. And I told her that. I was like, you realize I haven't talked to him in years? She was like, yeah, he told me that. So why are you here, ma'am? What do you want? Why are you here? And apparently she did that a lot. She went through a lot of people that he used to talk to or anybody she dated. That's when I realized she was crazy when she moved on to somebody else and she did the same shit to him. But they really will have an issue with you and you could be non-existent in this person's life, but some kind of way they feel threatened that you're going to take their person. And turns out like when we did get back in contact because of her, she started texting me and was like, have you talked to him today? Turns out like I had just talked to him a couple of minutes ago. I was like, yeah, just like a couple of minutes ago. And she was like, oh, I haven't heard from him in like 2 days. I was like, that's not my problem. That's not my problem. That's not my problem. That's
What they got to
yours.
do
First of
with
You
all,
me?
deal
I
with that.
wouldn't befriend her
That
because
ain't got shit to
girl,
deal with me.
don't nobody
She was like,
want
well,
that
since he
man.
been back in contact with you, and I was like, thanks to you. And she was
Right.
like, I haven't heard much from him. That's not
Well,
my problem. That's your man, not
how do
mine.
you
I
expect?
am
But how do you
fully
expect someone to act after you reached out to their long-term friend that they hadn't even talked to
Talk
in
to
like
that is
years
sick.
to accuse them of something? I wouldn't talk to you no more
I
neither.
was full blown married and pregnant at the time. I'm like, baby, what do I want with your man? If I really wanted him, I could have had him
And
by
that be the
now
thing.
and ain't slept with him not one time, ain't never made out with, ain't never did shit with this man. But I guarantee if I really, really, really wanted him, I probably could have had him by now. And she was like, well, he doing this, that, and the third. That's not my problem.
How
I'm
she even
sorry.
knew about you? Was like the nigga talking about you or something?
That's a question that I have been wishing to get an answer for the longest.
Because
The only thing she
if you
said
wasn't talking to him,
was
how she knew?
the only thing I got was that she said, sorry, reading text, that he said me and her would make great friends. But remember, he also said me and that other girl we were friends with would make great friends. So
He lied about that.
Right.
Anybody that's watching this, you got to check your insecurities at the door.
Yep.
because you can't be coming here trying to ruin friendships. Ask yourself why it makes you uncomfortable. If it's not a legitimate thing, then and even if it is legitimate, then you shouldn't be talking to that person.
Right.
Like
Right.
get yourself out the situation, but don't sit there and try to mess up a friendship.
And the
Because
insecurities are insulting.
It is because
The
Right.
friends
what
that
is wrong with you?
like
I
you
actually
are
got a
So
story
literally
hard,
dating.
like
opposite of that
The
though.
fact that you would ever think that I would want a nigga that you want, that
Yes,
you would date,
it's insulting. Please check it.
anytime that
is
has happened to
offensive.
me, it's always baffling because the girls that would do it would be these absolute gorgeous females. Like, I mean, could be like real top tier model material or Instagram model material. And they would it always happened. They would come to me and would be talking about a dude that I'm not even in a relationship with or have anything going with. And I'm like, are you for real? Like, have you seen yourself? Do you
No,
see yourself? And you're acting like this over that? Like,
that nigga.
you can do so much better. And you're acting like this over that? What is
I
going
actually got a story
on?
opposite of that though.
You said what?
Do what?
I said I got a story opposite of that though. This is why I brought up the question. So when I talked about the girl that was, holding my hand and stuff like that, it was something about that, you know, I had to ask to make sure that you was all right since you wanted to put me in the friend zone. So automatically she told me that she liked me and she just wanted to try something out. But the problem was, which is the reason why I didn't talk to her ever since that day. I cut her off because I was like, "So you want to be with me? You want to build a relationship with me, right?" And she was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Okay, I'm not the type of individual to care about whether or not you have guy friends or not, because I really don't give a fuck." But when you told me that, because I met the guy that was your guy friend or whatever, and you have two guy friends, one fucked your mama and want to have sex with you, and then the other guy friend, that wants to have sex with you, but you don't allow him to, but y'all still cool. So I'm like, but they still your friend. And she was like, yeah, they're cool. They cool people. But I was like, but they want to have sex with you though. They let you know right off the bat that they want to, you know, be in a relationship with you as well and want to have sex with you as well.
Why
I
Mm,
would
was
she
like,
tell you
yeah,
that?
I have no
to try and
idea.
get
And
them
I just
jealous.
saying,
Yeah, because why would you tell him that? She ain't had to say that to you. She wanted to see how you she was testing you. She wanted to see how you felt about her. So she told you that these dudes wanted to have sex with her to see how you was gonna react.
But only
yeah,
ran you. Uh,
because I was
But got
like,
herself cut off.
yeah.
exactly, because I'm like, that shit, that let me know right then and there the position that you're already in, because that right th- them letting you know that and you still cool with them is already a red flag. Because now
Yep.
I'm
that's a
at now I'm questioning, are you actually doing something with these dudes? Because you just said that you're still cool. So
And why is
I'm
she
a,
that's
I'm
telling
a,
her
wild.
mama business that the dude was messing with her mama?
so I'm gonna
She
argue
Right.
because
just
shit
she
was
just
going
told her
on,
mama business.
right?
She's
But
I'd
the
have been like,
definitely a
mama,
good friend.
I'd have been like, you have a nice life.
Right.
right, but her
You got too
mama
much
and
going
her
on.
grand, but her mama and her grandmama was kind of like trying to latch themselves onto me as well. And I was like, do something with your mama, do something with
What
your
is
grandma,
wrong with them
because
people?
I have no idea. Because they
Was
want me to
this in,
go.
was this in the
'Cause-
city that we grew up in? If
Nah,
so, then yeah.
it was in Leesville.
Ah, well, hell, I don't know. Cause I about to say that sound like some shit from our old city.
They was trying to tag team you.
Not because
That
the
family
bar that
weird.
the bar that we went up to had a dance floor, right, and they had a band up there. And the grandma wanted me to go up there and dance with her like every damn 5 minutes.
Why her
So
grandma at the bar with her?
it was
It's
all hanging out.
families that do that. I've actually seen it with my own eyes when I've been out. Like it's
That
family.
is weird.
And then she was hanging out with her mama too, and she was kind of like latching on to me and kind of pretending like we was on a date when I was like, we just cool, we just friends. And she was telling her that we was just cool, we was just friends. But her mama was like, nah, touch your ass a little bit, get closer to her and shit. Try to have her latch on to me. So I'm like, man, there's a whole bunch of red flags right now, bro.
Bro,
But
you be meeting some crazy girls. You be meeting some
that,
crazy people.
I know, I know. This like that's why I'm kind of like staying back a little bit because it's like you know my experience is my experience at the end of the day, but that's why I'm real heavy on cutting people off
Oh, yeah.
because throughout the journey you're gonna deal with people like that anyway. But it depends on you set the tone on how people treat you and whether or not you're gonna allow them in your circle or not. But I automatically knew that it was a red flag when that's her how her family was and how she was acting, and she's telling me that and telling her mama and her grandmama that we just friends, we just cool, and then the next fucking day you switch up trying to get me to feel guilty about me putting you in the friend. So I was like, nah, fuck this shit. Nah, I ain't talking to you no more. Nah. Ever since that day, I haven't tested since.
You should stay away from her because she crazy.
And the thing about it is, she
It's not
wasn't
like
really.
I
Was
need
that?
some spirit cleansing. You
No.
attract a bunch of folks.
I feel like
He's in the military, so it's like
oh yeah,
bound to happen.
military.
Okay,
Yeah.
explained it all
Yeah.
for me there. They
Yeah.
show soldier real bad, real bad.
That's a problem. Is that once they know that I'm in the military, they switch up real quick, and it's like,
Oh, they trying to secure that chick.
yeah, I'm already be catching it. I gotta protect what I built and my career because now a lot of women have good intentions. I already knew that
They
before
don't.
I got into the military. So I'm like, I already know the mind games that you're playing and the tactics that you're using. I can see that a mile away. But what I told you in the beginning that we just cool, we're just friends, like that's it. If
Yeah.
I told you that we're just having a good time, not a long time, that's it. It's because I protected my career. But also,
What's
how old is
funny
this
is
girl?
she's the same age as me.
Yeah, you need to stop with them girls.
what's
Yeah.
funny is this boy has been this way since he was like 6 years old.
I agree with Boonie. I think you need to try dating
Older women, yeah. You need to stop with
Yeah.
them girls.
See the girls, it sounds like the girls your age, they just trying to get some money on the cool.
Yeah.
Just
The
please don't
oldest
have him
I
around my age or mama age, and we'll be good. Go like 4 years of above you, and maybe 4 years below me. Something like that. That's
yeah.
fine, but
How old
I
are
don't
you,
want to be
John?
talking to somebody like, we the same age. That's my baby brother. I don't like it. I'll fight her.
John,
Yeah,
how
because the
old are
oldest
you?
I'm 22.
Oh yeah. Right around the
Yeah,
26, 27 range, maybe. They got a
yeah,
Yeah,
a little bit.
you're
26,
right.
27.
The
Yeah.
oldest I talked to was 27 years old, and she had nothing but family issues. Like I went up to her apartment, and it was just straight up trash. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like it was dirty. I saw she had a couple of pets. She had, dogs, as pets, but her room was shit. Her kitchen was shit. Her trailer was
Did you
shit, and I was
tell
just like,
her?
bro,
Because I know
I
your
didn't.
mouth. Did you tell her?
I didn't say nothing. I control my mouth. That
He
time,
like,
I control my mouth.
Yo,
I didn't
my
say
he's
brother
nothing.
like,
has it real bad
he's like,
with
I
telling
was with a
people.
27-year-old and she was dusty. I don't know about that.
Yeah, my brother has it
I
real
promise.
bad with telling people exactly what the fuck is on his mind in that moment. If it's dirty, he gonna be like, "Why does look like this?"
No, instead, I just showed it with my conversations. I just told her like I changed the way I approach this situation. I
So you
gotten
Uh,
better
still
with it.
told her, you just told her in a different way.
Yes.
he probably thought he did it. He probably was like, yeah, you need to clean
Nah,
up.
I just said, let's just straighten everything up a little bit. Let's just straighten up the bed so I could get comfortable. That's all I
Oh,
said. That's all I said. Let's just straighten
oh,
up the room a little bit so we can get comfortable. That's it.
I ain't
That's all I
cleaning
said.
up nothing. I'm about to
I'm
go
finna clean up
home.
with her.
I ain't doing that. I'm about to
Good
go.
job.
Yeah, I come to a dirt.
Yeah, that's sweet. But if I go to somebody's house and they dirty, I'm about to go home.
Cause I'm from the
Yeah,
hood.
and
Them dirty houses. Mm-mm.
Right.
yeah,
His
and plus,
famous words are "I'm good."
yeah. And plus, she was nice to me. She drove me around, took me to get something to eat, so I couldn't talk bad about her like that.
Yeah.
She took me to get something to eat. She drove me around town, showed me everywhere. So I'm like, I can't be disrespectful to this girl. She
I'm
invited me
like,
to her
this
home.
is cute, but you need to clean up.
Yeah. I mean, that was cool that
It's
you
cute.
that was cool though.
How long were y'all talking before you went over?
What's that?
Like she was it you didn't pop up unexpected, right? She knew you were coming over.
Yeah, we already made plans to communicate all that.
So that means she had time to
So
clean up. She knew she was doing it.
Ew.
yeah, and when I arrived and told her that I was on my way, she wasn't even ready yet. She didn't clean up, and she was planning on me spending the night, and but I was like, nah, let's clean this shit up because if I'm finna stay over here for a little bit, then I gotta be in a place where it's clean. Like I can't be in a house smelling like shit. I didn't say that.
Oh.
I didn't say
Mm-mm.
that, but I just said let's clean
Nah.
up a little bit. Let me get some air freshener and shit like that. Let's just do that.
But why did her
We
house smell like that? See, I would have been thinking about all that. Like, why do
You
it
said she
smell
got
like that?
animals, right?
Yeah, she got
Oh
two
yeah, he
dogs
did say
and a
that.
hamster,
He did say
and
that.
Oh, and
plus
we
she got
both know how
a
them hamsters can smell.
yeah.
Mm.
So it contributed to that, but it was all in her one room, and her room is small. So I gave her a little bit of slack, and plus she wanted me to watch some anime with her. So I was like,
Oh, she
Yeah.
got you with the anime.
She
yeah,
okie dokes you, bro. She
She
okie
got you
dokes
with the
you.
anime.
yeah. But it
Yeah.
was really just the family issues and the past that she had that really not really set me back, but we still talking like we cool with friends, nothing more, nothing less. But same time, it's like she she's just got too much stuff going on. And I was just like, look, let's just be cool, let's just be friends, and
Don't y'all hate
when
when people always talking to y'all about their stuff? Like when you meet people, they tell you everything. Don't y'all hate that? Don't y'all
I
hate being a person that people always want to tell everything to?
I swear,
the
I
I'm the,
best
hate it to an extent. Like it can be
I was like that.
tiring, but at the same time, I prefer it that way so I can at
You'll
least know a
know.
few
Yeah.
things up front. But at the same time, you got them narcissists who will tell you specific things up front
Mhm.
as a front to be like, all right, I told you all this. Now it's all been laid out on the plate. So later on down the road, you'll be like, yo, you okie doke me. And they like, no, I didn't. I laid everything
I
out in the
told
front.
you. Yep. Mhm.
Right. And
I
it's
get
like, no, you told me this. You ain't tell me all this other shit.
yeah. Left all that out.
Right.
I get dumped on in general though. Like where it's just like
Yeah,
they're gonna
me
just
too.
it's like golly.
It's like, bro, you got a lot going on. Well, why is you talking to me like I don't know you? So why you telling me
I
all
said
this?
hi.
I
Right.
feel like
And
I
you
did
telling
that with
me
Royal.
everything.
When
Tell
me and
me
Royal
everything.
first started talking, we just like start spilling shit. I was like, yep,
Y'all,
this is
y'all,
gonna be a beautiful friendship.
y'all already knew each other, bro. Y'all already
For
knew.
I
real.
had to learn to set boundaries though. Because like I literally got to a point to where other people's emotions drained me. Like I would listen, I would be there, and I'd be their shoulder to cry on. They'll walk away feeling relieved. I would sit there feeling like I actually went through what they just told me about.
Same.
And so I had to get to a point to where like I don't want to be a shitty friend. I can listen to your problems, but in moderation. You're not gonna just keep laying it all on me. My life is fine right now. I shouldn't go to bed stressed because
Mm.
you
My
worried all
Right.
day with no issues. You know what I'm saying? So like I still listen, but my boundaries is up there. Like
I had to
my
learn how to listen and leave people's issues with them and not take them with me. I feel like when you're an empath, that's something that you have to learn because it's gonna happen. People gonna talk to you, and it's really your role. It's kind of like it be your purpose to be that person. So you have to learn how to leave their issues with them and not take it on.
Right. You should have said that. I was literally told that. Like she told this woman, she told me that I needed to get back to my roots, which I've always been the person, even when I was mean, like I was the person that everybody know. She only acting that way because she hurt. She's sensitive. She's a nice, loving person. And so she's like, you got to get back to that. You can start trying to become mean, and you meant to help. It's like, no, people don't want no help.
That how it be feeling like they don't. They just want to talk a lot of the time. But I had to learn that sometimes that's it. That's what it is. That's what
some
they
people
need.
just need to vent.
Over and over again. Like I gave you you even asked for advice. Like I gave you advice, and now you coming with the same issue again.
I had to learn how to not care to like just be like, if they ask for advice, give it, and don't even really worried about if they take it or not. Yeah. Because sometimes people just be wanting to talk.
Right. But that's one thing that I hate about when people lash out all their problems with you is that when you're talking to that person and they're trying to talk to you about their situation and all that, and you give them advice and stuff, and you have a one-on-one conversation with them about that situation, but when you try to give them advice, you try to tell them like, hey, this is probably what you need to be doing, they automatically, number one, get defensive and try to rebuttal everything you're trying to say, like every 5 minutes. And it's like, what's the purpose of me telling you if you just gonna act like you got it all figured out? Like you know what you're doing.
Because they don't be ready to fix their problems. They just want to talk about it. A lot of times people don't be looking to change things. They just want somebody that they can talk to about it.
At that point, I'm gonna start assuming that you like the shit that you in. You like that shit. So if you didn't, you would leave the situation.
It's some people who I put in that category. Like you just like this. Like for instance, I was telling y'all about my sister. Like
there's certain people I've gone to, and when they come to me, I'm just like, before you start, are you looking for advice or are you looking for an ear? And it makes them think about it. And they're like, I'm just looking for an ear. All right, cool. Have at it. Like, go ahead. Right. But if you are looking for advice, I don't want to hear this shit no more.
Same. Same. If I give you a solution, I shouldn't hear this no more.
Right. Because I'm like, oh my bad. Because there's no point in me talking to you about the same things over and over and over again, and we're just having like this one-on-one conversation about what you need to be doing, and you having to rebuttal or talk to me about what you agree or disagree with, and about what you agree or disagree with. I'm trying to tell you what the fuck you need to be doing, but you ain't doing it. That's the point. But every single time you want to get defensive and try to tell me that, oh, it's because of this, it's because of that. This is the same situation I'm going through with this.
You're making excuses.
Yeah, that I've been dealing with for like 5 years. And I'm not trying to put all of her business out there, but I kind of talked to Sissy about it. But it's the situation where she's dealing with a guy that doesn't really have anything going for himself. Like no job, no car, no house, no nothing. I mean, he living with his mom and stuff like that. So I'm not trying to judge the girl. You know, wherever you see is what you see, and as long as you own up to the decisions that you make, that's all that matters. But when in the beginning she was talking to me about he's, you know, not giving her attention, she constantly has to beg for, you know, him to talk to her and all this and that. And I'm like, damn, that's kind of fucked up. But it's like he doesn't have anything going on, but he's hanging out with his cousin. So there's no excuse as to why he can't give you communication.
Right.
Because he was putting all that effort in the beginning, but he's slacking off once you gave it up to him. But thing about it is that y'all didn't even talk that much in the beginning for you to give it up in the first place. So I was talking to her about what she's doing and giving her my overall perspective as to what I'm seeing, and what I'm seeing is you're kind of being a little bit too easy. You kind of not um letting things play out and taking steps to get to that that point. You kind of just rush into it and you expect everything to be good. And she rebutted that and saying that I focus on energy, and it kind of makes me feel like that you're looking at me as like I got no standards and I have no boundaries. And
You
I'm like,
don't.
that's exactly what I'm saying.
Like you
But,
don't
but
have
you're
it
not
in.
but you're not but you're not hearing what I'm saying. You constantly trying to rebuttal and make it about what you see and what you feel, but that's not what I see. Your actions are not matching up with what you're saying.
People
But
who
at the
say
same
they
time,
focus on energy in situations like that, what energy? Because the energy that I got from that is that he don't like you.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like the dude don't
but
like you.
but this the kicker though, is that she recently broke up with the man because she was like, I'm tired of doing all this for you and you're not reciprocating the same energy back. I was like, okay, cool. Now I got a little I didn't say it, but in my mind, I'm like, okay, now I got a little bit more respect for you because you're learning, you're growing, and you're learning to understand and set the tone and not allow people to use you if they're not giving you the same energy that you're giving them. Like you being this dude's life coach, his mentor, trying to help him up, trying to help him get a job, going to college, based off the conversations that y'all had. So I'm like, he gotta give you that same energy that you're giving him, but he's not. Which is why you broke up with him. Then later on, she ended up giving him a second chance. That's
She
why I
spun the
got
block.
that,
She
I
spun
know
the
you
block.
was gonna say that.
I
that's
knew it too.
that's when I got pissed off because I'm like, we just had a whole conversation about what you had to deal with this dude, but you gave her a second chance, and she was like talking about that I grew a backbone, that I've grown stronger, I'm not tolerating shit no more. And I'm like, in my head,
People
I'm
who be
like,
talking like that be lying.
you was a motherfucking lie, cause if that's the case, you would never give it a second chance because you gonna stand on what you said. That's the whole entire point of having a backbone.
Thing.
You ain't going back. If you got a backbone, you ain't going back.
No, I'm saying, did
Exactly.
he change everything? Because for her to make that statement, she's saying it like he changed everything,
Right.
put her foot down.
No,
But
she's saying that he's gotten better at his communication, but as far as his overall position, that's it. It's
what
still
did
the same.
you
Still no job, still not going to college, still doing nothing. It's just communication. And I'm just like, okay, but what if he's doing that because he just needs you for a specific thing?
He a
Like
homosexual.
yeah, what it's multiple factors that play into him giving him the motivation to do what he do. And I'm saying these things because of concern, not
Yeah.
just with him, but with you, because it's like you're going through all this for him, a guy like him. And I'm like, that makes like absolutely no sense to me. And she wanted to hit me with this, oh, you don't get to tell me that I've grown. Nobody dictates whether or not I have grown as a better person than I'm not. And it's like, I honestly don't give a fuck what you're saying. What I'm seeing is you are not upholding to what you're saying. And you're getting your feelings all you want to, because at the end of the day, what I'm feeling going to is that is your business.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna let it stay your business. I'm
Yo.
not going to argue. I'm not going to argue with you about it. I'm not going to have no discussion with you about it. I'm not going to have any opinions about it, because at the end of the day, with this whole conversation, I'm learning that yeah, I don't dictate who you talk to and who you don't talk to. I don't dictate the choices that you make. But what you're not going to do is when I'm showing you my concern and when I'm telling you how I feel, you're not just going to put that down and focus on how you feeling and what you seeing and what you're doing. Nah, I'm telling you how I feel because I'm your friend, because I
Right.
care,
That's
because
being a
I'm
real
seeing
friend.
something.
And I do
Yeah,
feel
I'm
like
seeing something
friendship is
different.
give and take. Like people think that they can just come and like dump on you, but like you show concern for them, and they don't. It's like they don't want you to care about them. Like don't care. Like why you care about me so much? Kind of. And that's what I get from it. Like whenever I'm talking to somebody and telling them that they're worth more, and you being like, well, this, that, I take it as you don't want me to care about you.
Yeah.
Right. And then they get mad at you for saying that.
I take it as you don't care about yourself.
Yeah, you don't care about yourself, so you don't want me to care about you, because then that means that you have to care about yourself.
Because
Exactly.
if you wanting better for them, it actually doesn't line up with what they really want to do. I mean, I know they having this conversation with you, but they really continue on this stressful road they on. They just needed to vent to you right quick to get this. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of times that's be exactly what it is. They don't like themselves.
You taking that energy from that person and coming and dumping on me. I ain't got time for that.
And then they want either half or fully relieved from the drama that they laid on your lap.
And then you stuck with it. Now you thinking, dang, like
now you stressed out.
You
and
thinking, yeah, like they
fuck.
like she with this person. Like I really want her to see this. People don't understand. Like when you care about them, it affects you.
Right. And that's why I had to realize, because I'm like, I have to step back and just allow you to do what you do in order for me to not get so angry about this situation. Because the more we're talking about it, the more angry I'm going to be. That just is what it is. Because I don't agree with what you're doing. Just because I'm your friend, that doesn't mean that I'm going to agree with everything you do. Just because I'm your friend, that doesn't mean that I'm going to be on your side with everything. With this case, I'm not on your side. I don't care what you're saying. I don't care what you're trying to tell me. I don't agree with it. But in order for me to not let that negative energy affect me, because it has affected me before, because it's like I really don't want this person to get hurt. I don't want this person to be in a situation to where she's crying over a man again. But I'm like, nah.
You don't care about her. So you can't care.
That's the part right there, was what you start caring about them more than they care about themselves. Kind of situation. It's just like, look, it's affecting me because I care about you. I've seen you go into these situations to get hurt. I'm not necessarily mad at you, but I'm mad at the fact that you keep deciding to make this decision over and over and over when I'm trying to give you 5, 6 different ways out of the situation. And you're not listening to one. And then
they don't be caring about themselves.
My problem too with those situations is you can't tell your problems to them a lot of times, or you can't. It's not a reciprocal relationship. It's a one-way street, and you really got to be careful of that. Even if you're going through something with somebody, you have to be able to. It has to be a two-way street. Like, look, if I'm going through something, I need to be able to talk to you too. It needs to be
never available
ways,
when you. They're never. It's like the whole relationship is about them dumping on you. Then you don't get nothing out of it except stressed out because you care about this person and you trying to tell them better, but they get to come and dump on you whenever they want to, and they get mad when you give them a solution, and then you don't get nothing out of it. That's not a friendship. You're basically you're their therapist.
Yep.
Right, because it's
not getting paid for it.
Exactly.
Right. It's making me feel like that I'm telling you everything that I want to tell you because I care. But same time, when I'm telling you because I'm showing concern and because of the love that I have for you, because of what you got going on in your mind, it makes it more of an argument and a debate more than an actual conversation for you to get better and find solutions. Like, I'm not telling you because I want to debate or have a one-on-one discussion about a certain topic. Like, I'm telling you this because I want you to do better. There ain't no if, ands, or buts. It ain't no I agree or disagree. It's I'm telling you because I care. That's it. I'm tired of this. I don't agree or don't disagree, because now you just putting this conversation into an argument over your situation that you're dumping on me. You're not supposed to come into the conversation and tell me fuck what I'm saying because I believe something different. If you believe something different, then go with that.
Right.
Because you stop pretending that you're taking what I'm saying into consideration when you always trying to rebuttal what I'm saying.
There's some people that don't want help, bro. They don't want to grow. They don't want to change. They don't want different, and they don't want you to say anything because that means that they have to focus. They have to pay attention to it, and they don't want to. They just want to vent.
It goes back to that self analysis thing. People don't want to look at themselves. They don't want to
They don't.
up to themselves and see that, damn, I'm doing with some fucked up stuff. I'm dealing with some fuck. They want to just be complacent and stay in that same position. And they're not going to be willing to do it until they're willing to do it. They're going to have to wake up one day and say, I don't want that no more.
You got to emotionally separate yourself from people like that. I know it's hard. You don't want to do it because of the type of person that you are, but you have to. But anyways, we can talk about this all day. Moving on to the next segment, the wealthy health segment. What are some sources that taught you about sexual chemistry? Like, what are some places that you think that you seen, heard about, read, whatever, that taught you about it? I'm just gonna
feel like manga and
manga.
I was just about to
manga
say
and fan fictions. I feel like they showed me what it should have been like.
Yeah. I'll say I'm always gonna say Shan Booty because like I looked at her. I learned a lot from her about sex and just relationships in general. So I'll say her, and then I'll say my mama. Like when I was a teenager, excuse me, she was teaching me about sex, and not just like the physical part of it or whatever, but just like a lot of the things that goes into it, the different components and how to look at it and things like that. So I'll say my mom did, Shan Booty, and I experience. I feel like also because I'm a sapiosexual, or like John said, demisexual too. So sexual chemistry is important for me. I have to have that in order to have sex with somebody. Like I can't just look at you and be like, oh, I want to have sex with them and then do it. I have to have some type of connection with you before it can happen.
Yeah.
So experience kind of taught me too.
I would have to say I can't say that my environment growing up was the best. So it was all over the place. I saw examples all over the place. Uncles and aunts and like hearing my mom in the way that her friends talked about stuff.
Same
Like,
with my mom and aunt.
yeah, like I and then I think I was like preteen, and I finally seen like one of those Indian books. Oh man, I was like tripped out, all the different positions. And I know that it's not actual bodies and it's little drawings and stuff.
Look like the Kama Sutra
Yeah, you
positions.
still
I
know.
love those books.
Like, you know, this is a man, this is a woman. Like, you know, even though it's not an actual human picture up there. So it blew my mind the first time I actually opened one of those books because they had all the pictures, all that stuff, like telling you how to get in the position.
Ooh, and they got so many positions. I've come across one with like 200 and some positions, and it made me excited. Like I was like, "Ooh, we got to try all of these positions."
Yeah.
For me, I would put Shan Booty up there too. The Love Hour podcast, even though it's not on anymore, but it's kind of transitioned into the Marriage Be Hard one. But they talk about that a lot, you know, and they bring on sexologists a lot. That's the one thing. But originally, it was from my cousin of all people, who taught me about that. Like he explained it to me more than I've ever been explained to before when it came to, like, before that point when it came to sex. When I told him I was going to lose my virginity, he asked me a question, which is a really good question to ask. He said, "Do you really want to do it?" And I said, "Yes." And he brought up the prospect of pleasing the woman first to me. That's the first thing he taught me was just like, well, you got to go down and taste her first. And I was just like, I'm glad he did because that shaped my thoughts towards it from that point on. I'm like, okay, it's not about me, it's about her, and that's what he explained. That's where my mindset came from. I think is that because I had to think about it because I didn't know what I was doing. So when he brought it up that I had to please her first, I'm like, okay. Shout out to my cousin David. You know, I didn't get much from my family, but my cousin Lil David, that was a smart thing to say because most men, that's not what you're gonna hear from them.
Yeah.
Right.
They're gonna take, hey, get in there.
Yeah, get up in there. You know what I'm saying? Because he asked me if I wanted to do it. Do we want to get in there? He was like, you know what? You got to do her first, though. You know.
Yeah. That's cool though. I feel like it should be normal to talk about sex with your family members. My family is very sexual. That's all they used to talk about. Like when I was younger, they would just be like sitting down. My mama and my aunt would like give my uncles, because my mama and they got a lot of brothers. She has like 6 brothers, and then I got 3 brothers. So like the women in the family would like be giving the men advice, like you should do this, you should do that, like different ways to be romantic and certain things to do when it comes to sex. And I used to just soak it all up. Like I just used to be sitting there like, so you do this or you do that or whatever. And then my mom, her deal with me when it came to sex was just wait until you turn 18. So I was waiting for that day and I was thoroughly disappointed. It was nothing like how they told me it was gonna be. It was nothing like what they talked about. And immediately I was like, it kind of it it kind of like changed, not necessarily how I saw sex, but I was like, okay, there's a lot more to it than this. And just because I have the knowledge don't mean that other people do. So yeah.
Right.
Sometimes you gotta be the teacher in a situation.
Mhm.
And I'm okay with being a teacher.
I had to learn everything from books, but that's all. How I learned about being sexual was doing like research and know my experience with one girl, but that's really about it.
Yeah.
But I had to learn like I didn't really have a conversation with my parents about the sex and how to do it, or with my dad, but it was just something that I ended up learning on my own. You know how to have sex in the mind before you actually have sex in the bed. How to be flirtatious, knowing how to sex talk, knowing how to be excited in the bed, stuff like that.
Mhm.
But it was really just my own independent study on those things.
I feel like when it comes to sex, you should do your research and learn a lot about it, because it's not just about the physical part of it or whatever. And I feel like people kind of feel ashamed to have to learn about it like that, because it's like it's supposed to be, because a lot of people think that it's something that's supposed to be natural to you, like either you got it or you don't. And I feel like there are people that are more sexual than others, so it seems like, oh, they got the talent for it, but it's not necessarily that it's skill or talent. It's just the fact that they like it.
Mhm.
They have a good relationship with their bodies. They appreciate their partner's bodies, and they want to learn about it, and they're open-minded. So that's what makes them seem good, like they got skill or talent, because they're sexual. And sexual just means that you have that relationship with sex. You have a good relationship with it.
I think that's really cultivated by the households too that you're in,
Right.
where I grew up in a household that was very sexually repressed. Like it wasn't cool to talk about it at all, and you really have to cultivate that environment where it is okay to talk about it with your kids. Like it's
Right.
okay to talk to kids about sex. It's okay. Like if they have an understanding of it, maybe they won't go out there and start exploring and
start
finding out shit from their friends.
I
If they
was-
know they can get all the answers at home, then they won't have to go out there and find out. There's so
Yeah.
many
Right.
bad things that people found out. I remember Kev on stage. He said that his friend told him to jack off with Ajax, the dish soap. Like, who said that? Like, I heard of a
What?
girl said that one of her girlfriends told her to put mayonnaise on her vagina. Like,
What?
who is telling y'all
That
this
is
stuff?
crazy.
But-
Where is they getting that from?
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you gonna go to the wrong people that don't really have answers, but it's gonna sound clear when you a friend. It's like, oh yeah.
No, it's
And
not.
then-
Everything my friends have ever said sounded stupid to me. Like, girl, what is you talking about? That's not how. Like, I used to get stuff from my mama, and I would just tell everybody at school, like, "Oh yeah, this is how you're supposed to do this. This is how you're supposed to do that." My mama telling me everything, and I would be like the go-to person to everybody, and everybody thought that I was having sex, but I wasn't.
Yeah. You
They
just
thought
had,
I was. I just had the knowledge.
yeah.
And when they like found out that I was a virgin, they were like, "What?" Like, I thought somebody told me they thought that I was a quiet hoe.
Oh,
But
It was
yeah, I mean,
that's
I
crazy.
could have been, but it didn't happen like that.
Oh Lord.
Quiet freak, maybe, but not quiet hoe. I wasn't putting it
I was
into
about to ask you,
practice.
is that where the book title came from?
Quiet what?
Men Like Quiet Freaks.
They do.
Oh man.
But yeah, that was the assumption. But I definitely was not having sex. I probably was like one of the only kids that wasn't. But I knew a lot because my mama gave me the tools. Like, she talks to me about it. She bought me sex toys, lingerie, everything. Like, she just wanted me to be comfortable with my own body and not nobody telling me how I should feel in my body. And I thank her for that. I feel like that's one of the greatest gifts you can give your kids, because they're not going to be kids their whole lives. They're going to be adults, and then y'all expect y'all kids to be adults who know how to please their partner when you told them that it was bad to have sex all their life.
Told them it was bad to even touch themselves.
Yeah,
Like-
you told them it was bad to masturbate, to touch yourself. Like, my mama had us, we were just like comfortable with our bodies. Like, we didn't sexualize each other. We didn't sexualize people. Like, the relationship that I have with my body, like, certain things people might say, is, I guess you could say, degrading or stuff like that. But people who are comfortable with their body aren't degrading themselves. Like, you see it like that because you ain't comfortable with yours, so you can't be comfortable with theirs, and you feel like there has to be these rules in order for somebody to share their body in a certain type of way, and that's not realistic. Like, some of us are comfortable with our bodies,
Right.
and there's nothing wrong with that. And I think that's
I
one
hate
of the most
that.
important things you need to have good sex.
Definitely. I hate those that think it's only like an in-between thing. Like, either you don't talk about it at all, you keep all that stuff under wraps, a secret, whatever. Like you said, quiet freaks, whatever you gotta do. And then it's either that or you're very sexual, so somebody can do whatever they want to you and you can't complain about it.
Right. It's either that or the other. I ain't gonna lie, I have been able to cultivate an environment where I could be both. Like, I don't know. I have been able to get men to see me a certain type of way, I guess you could say. Sometimes I know how to put that boundary on it. And I feel like because I'm so secure in myself, it works. It's like, okay, I get it. You ain't really like that. But at the
Yeah.
same time, you look good. Type of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
But people gonna have their opinions. You just have to not care. But I really feel like when it comes to sexual chemistry or sex in general, like you really need to build a relationship with your body, with your genitals, and then you have to have an appreciation for everybody else's. Like you can't go into the situation like a lot of, like we talked about on one of the previous episodes, how men are intimidated by vaginas. You can't go into it with that fear, like, what am I supposed to do with this? You have to really appreciate it. You have to appreciate what it's for. You have to appreciate the fact that this person is sharing it with you, and you have to approach it like you appreciate it, like you're fascinated by it.
Like Shay says, you got to have an admiration for it.
Yeah, you gotta admire it.
Hmm.
Moving on to the next segment. The what would you do segment. We don't have any questions this week or ever. But if you have any questions or you want advice, please email us at socialcyclepod@gmail.com and we will answer them the best that we can. And for the last segment, which is the Black Life segment, do you have any fears about lacking the ability to connect with someone at your peak sexually? Like, is that something you think about? Never being able to reach that peak because you won't find someone who will match that energy.
I worry about it.
Me too, sometimes I do.
Same.
Because
Absolutely.
I feel like people be saying that, like, oh, I'm freaky, like we y'all, but y'all really not freaky, y'all are horny. There's a difference. Liking to have sex and being a freak is not the same thing.
As soon as you ask what's the freakiest thing
They
they
swear
did,
up and down, they freaky.
Yeah, the freakiest thing. Oh yeah, we did. I had sex outside.
That's not freaky.
That's not freaky. That's just having sex outside. But you ask them to actually do something freaky. Oh, I ain't with all that.
I ain't with that.
Not freaky, baby.
You too freaky. When really,
you know what you vanilla.
What y'all see as freaky is just somebody who gonna let y'all do whatever it is that y'all want to do to them, but you're not willing to reciprocate that. Like, I can't do stuff to you, but you want to do all this stuff to me.
If I can't peg you, you not freaky.
Bingo.
Right.
I got a listen.
Bingo.
There's a test that that I'm gonna put into the thing where you can put in the description where you can actually see, and I guarantee you, like 80% of y'all are vanilla, and you're gonna find out real
vanilla.
quick.
You just like the idea of somebody let you put them in the 4 positions that you gonna do for the entire duration of the relationship. The 4 positions that y'all know.
Not the 4 position.
It be doggy style. It be the missionary position, but like with the legs. With the legs on the shoulder, they like that because they feel like they gonna make you crazy with that. When really it don't be the penis that be making women crazy. It be the imaginary relationship that they built in their heads about y'all that makes them crazy. Y'all penises don't be hitting like that.
A lot of times
they don't.
Penis off for some of those women because they wear their feelings in their vaginas.
True.
They be digmatized.
True.
Because I quite a bit of women that were like, I got a homegirl. I remember this time we had a conversation about this dude. I actually introduced her to the dude because I was talking to his friend. The friend, it was like by then I had already been talking to the friend like a week, but by the end of that night that I had introduced her, I didn't want to talk to the friend no more. He was very annoying. Mm-hmm. He kept trying to come up with any kind of excuse to come over to my house because he seen where I stayed. Like, it was just too much. She said that she did not like the dude and all of that stuff. Had sex with him the very first night hanging out.
He was in love after that.
What's crazy about him?
And I really think that it's because of the things that sex pulls out of you. It pulls things out of you that you probably have never felt without having it. So you think And like, I hate the word digmatized because that be making men think that they're good at sex, and a lot of y'all are not. Like, it really just be the feelings that you're pulling out of this person while you're having sex with them. Really.
Or it be the fact that they like sex so much themselves and they end up making other dudes think that they're just good at what they do. And it's like, no, you just like
You
sex.
just like sex.
You weren't good at what you did, but the other person just likes sex.
Like she said, they wear their feelings in their vaginas. So that's the only way you gonna get it. Like, that's the only way I'm gonna get that feeling. So I love sex.
That's what I was gonna say earlier too, when it came to John bringing up people that are sex addicts. They don't be having good sex a lot of the time. They just addicted to the act. They just addicted to the act itself. But they be doing some trash stuff.
They do. That's why they be, and a lot of times it feeds into the addiction because they're not getting fulfilled. So they keep doing it because they want to be fulfilled. And it's not fulfilling them. And I feel like that's what feeds the addiction. That void that they're trying to fill. And they feel like sex is the way to do that. But sex is not the way to do that, especially with people that you don't have any connection to or nothing. I don't care what y'all say, male or female, men or women, y'all are not having y'all think that y'all are having emotionless sex, but if that was the case, if there was no feelings involved, if you were taking nothing from that situation, why do y'all like it so much? If it's just the physical act of it, and you just want, and I know a lot of y'all gonna be like, oh, the pleasure because I get to bust a nut. We know it don't, nuts don't be hitting like that neither. Y'all men have been saying that they don't be hitting like that all the time. So stop lying. Y'all be chasing something. It don't be a nut. Right. Y'all be chasing something. It don't be a nut. Y'all just be lying because y'all are terrified that somebody is gonna break your little heart after putting it on you.
With their hand, all they gotta do is the hand they want it so bad, but it's not about.
Exactly. Because if it was about the nut, that's all you gotta do to get it. But if nobody has anything else to add to that, John, did you answer that question? Do you have any fears about lacking the ability to connect with someone at your peak sexually?
Honestly, I don't now, because at the end of the day, I'm going to have to learn how to please the person anyway. So there's no point in me having that fear of not performing in the bedroom as long as the woman that I'm dealing with is willing to teach me about her body. Then I wouldn't really be caring about how I perform, because I know that I'm not really gonna get it the first time around, but multiple sessions, I'm gonna get it.
You might
it's just
though.
really
Yeah, you might get it the first time around. You might have that connection with somebody. Like, it be connections that be making you like move, and you ain't even in control of yourself a lot of the times. You just moving.
right.
You're a different beast. But for me, anytime that I have sex with somebody, that don't be me. The me that you in that relationship with and the me that you have sex with is not the same person. Don't ever think for a second that you can make me digmatized from having sex with me. It's never gonna happen. Because as soon as my clothes back on, I'm a whole other person.
Right.
A whole other person. So
yeah,
we good on that. But if nobody has anything else to add, we're going to end the episode right there. Thank y'all for coming and sharing your experiences with me. And thank everybody for watching. And let us know how y'all feel about this topic. Is sexual chemistry important to you? And what is sexual chemistry to you? Make sure to like the video, comment, and also subscribe to our channel. But thank you for watching, and we'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, that sound.